Hi, everyone, and welcome to your last week of distance learning for the semester. You made it through the entire thing and hopefully are feeling pretty good about this final project. I wanted to go through and just refresh our memories on the requirements for part two, since all of you should have finished part one last week as your assignment. Filling out that research form, we should now be looking at creating our Google Slides presentations, putting that information into a presentation, and submitting it as an attachment on the assignment for this week. So I want to go through some of that. There's also a little bit of an announcement on FFA activity points. So hopefully this gives you the information you need to finish this week off really strong. As always, you want to be in the Ag Chem Period 1 classroom, or whichever period is your period for Ag Chem, under classwork section, under distance learning specifically, and then under week 9, 526 to 529. When you're in the assignment, you'll see that it says that two things are due this week. The first is part 2, which is a Google slide for your research presentation, your Adopt an Element research presentation, and then your weekly reflection, your last one of the semester, but we will still have one this week to finish everything off. So under the chemistry assignment log, remember this is where you always want to start. There is the atomic structure and periodic table Adopt an Element final project Google slide part 2 as this week's work. You're going to want to create your slides presentation and then attach it to the assignment. So I am not giving you a blank slides presentation. It is up to you to create the slides and attach it to the assignment in Google Classroom. So please make sure you do that correctly. I will not accept shared presentations. They need to be attached to the assignment. If you need help doing that, let me know and I can walk you through those steps. But I think at this point, most of us have attached an assignment before in Classroom. You also have your weekly reflection, which is a Google form as normal. And then there is an optional FFA activity point this week. For those of you who still need a third and final activity point, May would normally be our banquet month, but because we're not able to meet to do that banquet, we're doing an activity point web quest instead. So if you look down here where it says optional May FFA activity point, when you open up that link, it takes you to the Google form that has the questions that will give you the credit for that activity point. It is optional. It is not a part of your assignments for the week. Notice that's why it's at the bottom there in asterisks. But if you need the last activity point, that is how you get it. Okay, activity points still count towards your grade. You should have had them hopefully worked out to this point, but if not, there's your last one to get that full credit for your grade, okay? Just to refresh our memory on the assignment, we are now working in part 2, the digital report. It is due this Friday the 29th. So using Google Slides, you need at least 4 slides in your presentation about the element that was assigned to you. I did leave that period 1 assignments, that assignment of each element in here. So if you need to refresh your memory, obviously your research page is probably going to be a better source for this. But if you're still not sure which one's yours, whatever it may be, I attached that there also. The 4 slides should follow this formatting. Please make sure that you're looking at this list as you create your slides presentation so you're not missing any points. If you read that there where it says pertinent information, you looked up a ton of information last week about physical properties, chemical properties, the structure of these elements. Use that information to your advantage. If you include several of those on your slides, you should be in great shape. As an outline that I would suggest, your properties, physical and chemical, could be its own slide. The atomic structure and symbol of yours could be its own slide. Some of the histories and uses could be its own slide. And then fun facts could be your last slide, right? There's all kinds of ways that you can create this presentation, but use the research that you've already done to help yourself out. If you have questions, of course, ask your questions. Let me know. I can always do Zoom conferences this week to help us through that process. It is the last assignment that you're able to do. It is worth 20 points for each section, so it's important that you do as well as you can, okay? Lastly, your weekly reflection, just remember to make it at least 5 sentences minimum so that you get all the points that you deserve for that work there. Other than that, those are my only announcements. Please keep an eye out for emails or information from the office. They're going to be reaching out to you guys. Unfortunately, you can't tell me whether you'd like a pass, fail, or letter grade. That has to go through the office first. So keep an eye on your emails and the announcements, because those things will be coming out to you for those surveys or that information for you to tell the office how you would like your grades this year. So keep an eye out for that. Do that optional FFA activity point if you need it, and complete your Google Slides and weekly reflection this week. And that will be the end of your semester. I hope you guys get a hold of me if you need anything. Otherwise, good luck this week with your work.